does not believe that Washington has taken a final decision on supplying Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. The U.S. Vice President JD Vance had earlier said that Washington was considering a Ukrainian request for Tomahawks. Lavrov has said that U.S. talk about the matter looks like it is the result of pressure from Europe and that Washington wants to show it is taking its allies' opinions into account.
Я думаю, что это результат, прежде всего, давления Европы на Вашингтон. И Вашингтон хочет показать, что он учитывает мнение своих союзников. Я не думаю, что мы уже имеем дело с принятым решением. Томагавки американцы далеко не всем поставляют. Из европейцев, если я не ошибаюсь, в Испанию и в Нидерланды. Остальным как-то остерегаются. И если они считают, что Украина это ответственная держава, которая будет ими ответственно пользоваться, то это будет для меня удивительно.
Russia had earlier said that its military was analyzing whether United States would supply the Tomahawks to Ukraine for strikes deep into Russia, a step that Russian officials say could trigger a steep escalation. Alison Matla on the telecast with me. Alison, let's hear it from you with regards to this talk about the proposal that Ukraine has put forth in front of the American administration to buy those special missiles to strike deep into Russian territory. At this point of time, there has not been a commitment that has been shown by the US administration on whether those Tomahawks will actually be delivered to Ukraine. What do you think is going to happen in the coming days and weeks, keeping in mind that Russia will view it as a steep escalation in the war between Ukraine and Russia?
My view is that the request for the Tomahawks and even the deliberation, the hesitation in coming up with a clear and final answer in Washington is actually a bargaining tool. Russia, I've seen Russians' reactions, Dmitry Peskov also, as you just played, the Russian Foreign Minister. I think Russia is rather worried about this. Normally Russia, if something happens, like for example, they're accused of meddling in Moldova elections, generally makes fun of a country. But I can tell by their reaction, they are actually worrying. They're saying military analysts will analyze it. They're actually being very serious about it. And they're not saying anything direct that Putin says this or that, that they will do this. So I think they're actually quite concerned. But I do think the request and the fact that Donald Trump is deliberating on it is a calculated move, and it is a bargaining chip because Donald Trump has said he wants to end the war. It's clear that his efforts at a ceasefire or peace talks have dismally failed, that Vladimir Putin has not been taking him seriously and has been playing for time. It seems that Donald Trump has either he believed Putin or he didn't have good advisors, or he's woken up to the fact that Putin has actually outsmarted him. So I think he's realized that they have to ratchet up the situation. But that is also very risky because if the US delivers Tomahawks and you say they're long range, what they can do, a Tomahawk can strike 1,000 kilometers, and they would obviously strike key, as you said, key power plants, etc., etc. They could actually strike Moscow. So we are seeing an escalation. For example, the German foreign minister, I know this isn't quite on the subject, but it is linked. The German foreign minister today said that Europe and Russia are no longer at peace. So we are seeing an escalation, but whether it will lead to Russia taking a step back and agreeing to peace talks, which doesn't look like it at this moment, or whether it will lead to a further escalation, we'll definitely find out in the coming days. And the decision actually rests with Donald Trump. He will have to decide whether the US will send those Tomahawks or not. But definitely Russia is worried.
Right, Alison, thank you very much for joining me and sharing your views. At least 10 people have been killed in a suicide bombing outside a paramilitary headquarters in Quetta in Pakistan. Officials say the attacker drove a pickup truck packed with explosives before gunmen stormed the compound. A fierce battle followed, leaving 4 attackers dead. Provincial Chief Minister Sarfaraz Bugti condemned what he called cowardly acts, vowing they would not derail the progress in the region. Hours later, another blast struck a public rally in Quetta, killing at least 11 and injuring dozens more. The rally was held to mark the anniversary of nationalist leader Atullah Mengal. Quetta, the capital of Balochistan, has long been in conflict by Islamist militants and separatist insurgents. The mineral-rich region is also home to the strategic Gwadar port, a key part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. So far, no group has claimed responsibility for either attack.
जो डेथ टोल है वो हमारे पास 10 लोग जो है वो शहीद हुए हैं, 5 जो है क्रिटिकली इंजर्ड है और 26 इस वक्त जो हमारे पास एडमिटेड है वो ज़ख्मी है और बाकी ये जो सिविल हॉस्पिटल की इस वक्त वो है। बाकी हॉस्पिटल से हम अभी कंफर्म कर रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे कोई इस तरह की वो ज़ख्मी तो नहीं लाए गए हैं। यकीनन एक बुज़दिलाना कार्रवाई थी जिनका निशाना जो था इनिशियली वो हेडक्वार्टर था एफसी का।
The Madagascar President Andry Rajoelina has dissolved the government following youth-led protests over water and power cuts.
Mandrapahan'indry ny gouvernemanta vaovao dia ireo mpikambana ankehitriny no manohy ny fampandrihanan-draharaha andavanandro. Ao anatin'ny 3 andro isika dia andray ny anarana atolotra ho Prime Ministre vaovao ary rehefa vita izany dia hanome fe-potoana ny Prime Ministre hananganany ny.
The 3-day demonstrations were inspired by Gen Z protests in Kenya and Nepal. These are the largest protests Madagascar has seen in years. According to the United Nations, during the protests, at least 22 people were killed and over 100 people injured. The United Nations reported casualties include protesters and bystanders killed by security forces, along with others killed in subsequent violence by gangs. Madagascar's Foreign Ministry has rejected the UN casualty figures as based on rumors or misinformation. All right, with that, we come to the wrap